ちは。元気だぞか。私はフェルクスガーディアンです。I'm back again reacting to some other YouTuber. I got curious from just this title, and I'm curious because like normally people will be like, oh, you shouldn't start playing Genshin Impact right now. It's too much. There's like too much going on. We can't have that. Um, I I feel like it's interesting for someone to have like a different, more publicly different take on the game. I haven't watched all of it. I've probably watched like maybe less than a minute, but I'm curious. I have my game running in the background just in case I need to open it for anything, and I am going to see what this person says, and I'm just gonna make it real quick. I'm probably going to be pausing and cutting out a lot of stuff, so make sure you go watch that video first. I don't want to take away this person's watch time and such. Please don't. And just from the very first uh, thing here, I can see that they have the, is it called the Sword of Dissension, where I think only PS4 people can get if they're playing on the PS4. I think it is. That's cool. Um, so let's just dive right into it, shall we?
I want you to ask yourself a simple question that I just recently posed to myself. What I mainly attribute this to was some misunderstanding with my friend group that this was going to be a primarily multiplayer experience, where in reality it served as more of a single player game. Once we realized that multiplayer was mainly for bossing or instance content, and
All right. Yeah. This I I was not deluded into thinking that it was a multiplayer game, but the person who introduced me to Genshin, he said that when I hit AR 16, he's gonna come over and help me, basically. So I'm like, you know what? Okay. So I wasn't. My initial impression of this wasn't that it was a multiplayer. I could play it by myself. And the big annoying thing about this is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people also have this thing. You need the internet to play this mostly single player game. Now I understand why, because you have people that could like literally just join your world if you happen to be online at the time. You could turn off world joins, but it's set to it's set to on by default. So people can, as soon as you hit AR 16, people can start joining your world if you don't know where to go to turn that off. But even after you turn it off, there are still events in this game that force you to play with other people sometimes. Um, Things like, um, what's it called? The divine ingenuity. I can't say the word right now. Um, that one is pretty multiplayer-ish. And then there are events like the frickin' what's it called? Right now, this thing that forces you to play with other people, because you have to play with other people. You can't play it by yourself. They force you to match with other people. So just, you will not be able to like completely play this game by yourself if you want to experience all of the content. If you decide that you're not going to play an event because it's forcing you to match with other people, then you're missing out um, on the content that you could have. If you know what I mean. For content creators, that's kind of bad. But if you're playing by yourself and you don't like have a YouTube channel or anything like that, it's fine. You can choose to not care about the multiplayer scene, because every multiplayer scene has problems, even if it's from China. Let's just move on. I feel like I've been yapping too much from just one single sentence.
And that the bulk of the game was single player. Gacha gaming sphere is an easy place for a developer to be greedy and exploit their player base, but I feel from my experience that they allow for players of their various games to get some of the cool toys they release, even without a crazy budget for their gacha Barbie gambling.
I wonder about that. I mean, he is still new to the game, so all I can say is that someone who has been there from week one, not like the first day, but like the first week, around the first week, because I didn't know that this game existed until my friend told me about it. They have made some very questionable decisions over the years. It's been 5 years now. You probably should look up the first anniversary drama if you so desire. I'll give you a very small rundown though. It was so bad that the user base went and started review bombing other apps on the Google Play Store that had absolutely nothing to do with gacha gaming. I'm just gonna put that little tidbit for you just in case you didn't know. And then I think what was it? The third lantern right that they had for this game. It's basically like a Christmas event. I guess you could call it that, right? But it's actually I think it's was it Chinese New Year? Is it? It's some cultural something, but based on the rest of the world, it's Christmas. It's like a Christmas event. They don't call it that, but I consider it to be around because that's when the lantern ride happens. Does it happen? I can't remember. They said for 3 years of playing this game, they were not giving us Primo Gems or anything like that. No. They give us a whole 3 pulls in the mail and said that was going to be enough for the players. 3 pulls. You heard me correctly. 1, 2, 3. 3 intertwined fates. Everyone was mad, including me. I made a video about it because what the hell were they thinking? I think during like the first 3 years of this game, like someone else took over the director's spot in Hoyoverse when it comes to Genshin Impact, because Hoyoverse is a game company, right? So they have other games under their belt. They have like Honkai Star Rail. They have Honkai Impact the Third. They have what is it? Tears of Themis. They have Zenless Zone Zero, and different people sit in the higher positions when it comes to running these games. They're not all governed by one person. They have different development teams and whatnot, right? So the person who's dealing with Genshin is, I think he was someone who sat in Honkai Impact the Third spot, and they hated the direction the game was going until he moved out of his spot. Now, all of this is speculation. I don't remember exactly what happened, but when he came to Genshin, I believe things just started going downhill. Now, as of right now, as in the time I'm recording this is a really good time to start playing Genshin because of the amount of free stuff. It is the anniversary time, so you're getting a lot of different types of things right now. You have this you have this thing where you log in for 7 days and you get stuff, right? And if you start right now, I'm specifically saying it right now, there are mail that you can get, mail pieces that will give you a bunch of free stuff that you can use to jumpstart your gaming experience. And they bring this back. I think it was like last year they decided to do this for every single anniversary moving forward. You can get to choose a standard 5 star from the lineup of um, standard 5 stars. So I already picked mine, but basically you can have a chance to pull for get one of these characters from any banner. Really, unfortunately, they're what's known as pity stealers. But for a new player, having one of these characters can seriously um, also give you a boost when you start out. Having pretty much any one of these, probably except for Dehya. I haven't really heard very good things about Dehya, but every single other one of these characters, they are good in their own right. I, if you want my my advice for who you should pick um, among these. Now, I'm not like a meta player. I like characters that have a fun playstyle. I would recommend this character right here, Tignati. He will pair up really well with Baron Bunny from Amber because their skill both um, redirects the enemy's attention. So if you feel like you're getting hit too much, all you need to do is just toss down Tignari's skill, or you can throw down an Amber Bunny, and the enemies will go away from you, assuming you move away from the thing you just placed. And, well, yeah, that's it. If you're the type of person who are like, okay, I want healers, then you actually have 3 options for healers in this little group. You have Jean, you have Chi Chi, and then I think Mizuki is also a healer as well. I not 100% certain because I don't have her, but the reason why I chose Diluc is because I like him the most out of all of these characters, and I prefer him over Tignari. As you can see, I already have Tignari. I have three copies. Yeah, I have the first one that I got, and then 3 other times I pulled Tignari as of right now. But Diluc has always been like the character that I saw at the beginning when I started playing, and I'm like, I want this man. And it took me like 3 years to get him. I kid you not. I had to wait for this event to even exist before I got Diluc. I was so mad that in 3 years of pulling and wishing and getting every other standard character, Diluc evaded me like hell. That's just something that you might have to deal with. If there's a character on this roster that you might be like, I want them, and then you don't get them by the next year, you can just get them from this event. Go ahead. As of right now, it is always a good time to start playing a game when it comes to their anniversary because they tend to give out a bunch of stuff. So, and especially because the rewards keep getting better and better, the bar is kind of already pretty low, but they're slowly raising it. So you could argue that by next year, if the game's still alive by then, I'm pretty sure it will be, we'll be getting better stuff by that point. So if you're looking for an excuse to start playing Genshin, go ahead. I've been free to play for quite some time. Scratch that. I can't even pay money. I live in a third world country. 1, 2, I don't have a job, and 3, I don't have a bank account. So all of the stuff that I've gotten in this game has come completely by either other people buying it for me or from my own hand of saying that I'm just going to save up my stuff and wait for my whatever character I want to rerun. But let's continue watching, shall we? I feel like I'm yapping more. Sorry.
To their world. They're just delighted to share this experience that they've gotten had. And it's honestly been great to see, and I'm glad to be one of you now.
Well, I am really happy when new players come into the community and they're like, um, it's so nice in this community. Please, for the love of everything holy, stay away from X/Twitter. I personally have not seen any type of drama or like significant amount of drama in my time in being in the Genshin community and also being on Twitter. But that's probably because I'm really more in the art corner of Genshin where not a whole lot of drama happens. If you're like in the general area, you're gonna see a lot of stuff, unfortunately. So all I have to say is try to stay away from Twitter as much as possible. Unless you're an artist and you just want to share your artwork, um, even be careful doing that because how many years ago was it? Was it like 2 years? Twitter did this stupid thing where they're taking people's artwork that they post and saying that they're going to use it for their AI training, and you have to opt out with and it was basically like people had been putting their artwork on this site for years, and all of a sudden if you don't opt out, all of your artwork was already like taken because their terms of service updated. I stopped posting my artwork on this site. There are tools that you can use to poison, quote unquote, your artwork against AI before you upload it. But I tried one of those tools and my computer freaked the hell out. So I just stopped putting my artwork on Twitter, unless it's like works in progresses, from like camera pictures or very heavily edited pictures where I blur certain parts out and then put a noise filter over it and then put another noise filter over it. Yeah, even if it's a work in progress, I would still put a filter over it. This game is pretty deep. I'm sorry, I feel like I have an ADHD brain. I'm glad to see someone else getting into the Genshin scene. It is fine if you want to drop it at any point. It is a game, right? Play as much as you want, play as little as you want. The important thing is to have fun. Don't listen to everyone else who's telling you that it's just big boob mommy ASMR stuff. Don't climb with Lisa. It's more than it has the potential to be what you want, I guess you could say. You don't have to gotcha. There are lots of people who play this game and they either don't know or don't understand the wishing system, so they sorry. So they literally have never wished, and they've been playing the game with only the free characters that you get from doing all of the other stuff, or the ones that do specifically challenge runs where they refuse to wish, or they wish for only one character, and once they have that character, they only use a character for like their entire playthrough. And it's fun to see the playstyle of one character carrying a person through the entirety of that. I will say though, real quick, that this boss, you really should try to fight it with well, as of right now, what I'm seeing right now, you should try only attacking it with Lisa, because you could you saw what you were doing there at the moment. You can't hit it with melee attackers, and I like that you swapped out Amber for Barbara. um, for this type of boss, it likes to fly up a lot, so you would want to use ranged characters like catalyst users like um, Lisa, Amber, and Barbara. The thing about um, archer characters is that just being like close by enough, when you start normal attacking, their arrows will lock onto the boss. And this specific enemy has a thing where if you don't hit it within a certain amount of time, it's going to create a wall of wind around you, and if you don't hit it, it might legitimately kill you if you don't find a way to try and hit it while it's in the air. So it is important to either have an archer or a catalyst user on your team, like at all times. Um, if you know where you're going and what type of enemies are around, you can get away with having whatever. But for a new player, you might want to keep Amber or at least an archer or a catalyst user on your team as much as you can. Another thing to note here real quick is that Kaya is a very, very good DPS for early game and even late game actually. I've seen people praise Kaya. Correct me if I'm wrong for the rest of the community, but I'm pretty sure he's like the highest scaling attack sword user that you can get like within that early game. You should focus your resources more on Kaya. He is a beast if you're not like trying to pull for any other characters. Just saying. Traveler is a kind of an iffy. I think you might need to um, put more resources into building Traveler, but they are also someone that you can use um, very efficiently. And Traveler also has the capability of switching elements as well at Statues of the Seven and other nations. So that also makes them like a huge deal, but unfortunately, like the power output generally, people just kind of stray away from using Traveler, and like I say, they either use Kaya or they pull for a character that they want and they use that. Personally, I don't use Traveler because I have all I see the other characters and I'm like, I like their playstyle. I will say though that Geo Traveler, as of right now, your Animo Traveler, Geo Traveler is my favorite out of all of them because it helps you climb tall cliffs by putting down constructs and standing on top of it to regain your stamina, especially in early game. You don't have much stamina to begin with, so Geo Traveler is like a huge must if you're looking for traversal. I'm curious to see where you go with this. Where was I? I think I was here. Okay, moving along.
And why I'm. Have a good day.
All right. So now that the video is over, I have a few bits of advice. I'm sorry for those of you who know me. You're probably thinking, "Oh my gosh, here she goes again." But hear me out, okay? I noticed like in this video the way that you were playing. I'm not trying to like shame you or anything like that. I'm just trying to give you advice. When you drop them from a height like you did with Kaya here,
These things all help my channel more
you
than
should
you could possibly know. And
you
I
should
would like
plunge
to
attack.
say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of my subscribers
'Cause I don't see you doing that, and as you can see, he took damage. If you're not sure how to do that, yeah, it's simple. When you're dropping down from a height, you just hit your attack button, basically. And it will negate some of the fall damage. The longer you fall, is the more damage you take. So, like, I think the highest place in Genshin that you can teleport to, like, as of right now, is this place. As you can see, it's pretty high up, right? If I fall from this height, I'm gonna die. I could demonstrate it for you. I don't want to kill Venti. Hold on. I don't think I need to demonstrate the fact that I'm gonna die if I fall from this height. I didn't actually mean to do that. Right? So falling from this height, okay, yeah, sure. You hit the button right as you're about to land and you're fine. Right? Now, if you're looking to purposefully hurt your characters, that's something you could do. Just throw them off a cliff multiple times. Now, as of why you might want to do that, sometimes you might have too much food that you just want to use up over and over again, so you just keep hurting your characters and feeding them and hurting them and feeding them. Just in case, you know. Something... Oh, hold on. I noticed that you're also not using Barbara's skill too often. I'm not sure if you know what Barbara does. She is a healer. When you put her skill up and then you start hitting enemies with it, she heals your entire team. Noelle is also the same type of healer, where you put up her skill and you just attack enemies with it, and she heals. But the difference between Barbara and Noelle is that Noelle's healing scales off her defense, if I remember correctly, and Barbara's healing scales off the amount of HP that she has. So, I think that's all. I really think that's all. It's just a small amount of advice. Just being like, okay, if you didn't know this character could do that, it can do that. Another thing to note about Lisa is that you might not know that she can do more damage based on how many times you use her skill. If you use her skill, I think at least 3 times before holding it down, and that skill hits the same enemy 3 times, it will do more damage. It's basically like putting a stack of electro damage on an enemy, and I think there's like, hold on, there's like 3 stacks that you could do per skill use. Where is she? Here. Yeah, max 3 stacks, and then when you hold it, it will apply extra damage based on a number of stacks. So you want to use the skill 3 times at the very least, and then hold it down. Another small piece of advice is would probably be that you should try to get shields more often so that you don't get like knocked all over the place. And the best way to do that is with Geo characters and paired up with Catalyst characters. So for instance, in the early days of one of my servers, I would use Geo Traveler with Lisa or Kaya. I didn't really like Amber. I still don't like Amber too much, which is why I tried to get Lyney as quickly as possible. I wanted another fire um, archer as quickly as possible. I like him. I like him a lot. I would argue that he's a lot more useful than Amber, but the two are very different. So I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, here's something else. A lot of enemies in this game have weak points. If you attack the weak point with a charge attack from an archer, they get stunned. In Hilichurls, that is their masks. So you might want to attack them in their face with your archer if you feel like you need to ever deal with that. And something else I guess I could say is that characters will eventually rerun. You don't have to worry about missing out on having them with you, uh, being like, oh, this is the only time you can get them. They will eventually come back, right? As of right now, Flynn's is a new character, Yolana is a returning character. They will eventually rerun. You don't have to, like, stress yourself out over, oh my gosh, if I don't get this character now, blah blah blah. By the time they come back, you will probably be better prepared, and especially if it's a character that you really really want, you would have pre-farmed for them. Like, say for instance that you see their trial run, right? And you're like, okay, so these are the materials that they want, right? So you do some research and you'd be like, okay, this is the boss that they're going to need the drops from. This is the and the mobs that I'm gonna need. I might as well, while I'm saving up my primo gems, I might as well farm for them so that when I get them, I can immediately like level them up to level 50, level 90s in certain cases. You don't have to go all the way to level 90, by the way. 80 is fine. I've seen some people say that you have to go to level 90. No, if you want some extra power, sure. But level 80 for characters is like, it's fine. You don't have to go any further than that, especially if you're not involved in the meta or anything like that. I'm very happy to see that you are getting back into Genshin and you're you're what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? You're also encouraging other people to say, hey, you can. It's not as bad as you think it is, because it's not. Just people like to hate on popular things. So honestly, that's all I have to say. Enjoy your time in Genshin. Don't let other people try to bring you down and say it's a Gunner game or whatever the case is. Look, I really like the men in this game, but the men to female ratio is horrendous. There are so few men in this game. I can't. Anyway, I hope you I hope you enjoy yourself. Thank you all for the rest of you. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Jeanette.